Back now with Endgame. Before I get to our little fun tease there that even Hugh was intrigued about, I want to quickly ask Palace intrigue here. Does the president reorient his own West Wing staff? There's been any of that? I mean, is Reince Priebus safe?
The president needs to ask Director Comey if anyone in the White House is under investigation because they have to be separated out. And Tom remembers Watergate, and if anyone is, they have to go. But Reince Priebus isn't, and he needs to stay, and Paul Ryan needs to stay, and they need to start listening to Leader McConnell. I think Tom is exactly right.
And, you know, typically when a new Republican government comes in, they choose from former administrations, sort of people who know the town. This is what happens when you staff your team with ideologues and people from right-wing sort of media world rather than people who know anything about running a government.
There's nobody in there with legislative experience beyond Pence.
I don't think the problem is ideologues. I think the problem is a lack of experience on Capitol Hill. For the president, it's you know, he doesn't understand the policy details. For Paul Ryan, I think it's been the story of this is that it's been undertold is he didn't sell this well. He didn't talk to journalists beforehand or the policy community, and I think that was perhaps the biggest flaw and the biggest mistake.
The biggest knock on you hear about Paul Ryan, that it rings true, Tom, is that here's this incredible policy wonk who hates politics, and he took a job that is all politics. Now, he didn't want the job, and he knew he wasn't as suited for it as others wanted him to be.
Well, the president has put his arm around it, but I think that he's been really wounded in all of this, quite honestly. He'll obviously continue as the speaker. Nobody else wants that job. I've been quite surprised, however, by hesitate to use the phrase, naivete on his part about, gosh, it's harder. I didn't know whether there was a difference.
Doesn't Aaron Rodgers always start slow, though?
Yeah,
Doesn't he always start slow?
That's fine. The best line I've heard all week was from a very prominent Republican senator saying, a day without a tweet is a very good day.
And it's also very hard to, no matter how good of a politician you are, to sell the idea of taking 24 million people's health care away. That is not sellable.
In Ryan's defense, I don't think he's been saying, gosh, it's harder. I think he's trying to tell his conference, you know, governing is different than being in the opposition. I think he's well aware that it's much harder.
But Chuck, I think the bottom line at the end of this week is health care is 18% of our economy.
Yes.
It affects everyone in America in one form or another. And this is not just a political game. This is not monopoly. They've got to find a way to get this settled. In the Reagan administration, they put together Pat Moynihan and Alan Greenspan, and they solved Social Security,
and that's
by the way.
Why they didn't do that. Set up your own and buy yourself time. That would have been the other thing.
And stop
buy
talking
yourself time.
Of Obamacare. Take that sting of we need to take away this thing from Obama. If you've got problems with it, fix it. That's what legislating is for.
All right, now I'm going to answer Hugh's intrigue because he loved the tease. March Madness, of course, known for its upsets, surprises, heartbreaks, all things that could be applied to Republicans in health care this week. But one super PAC was so sure that repealing Obamacare was a slam dunk that they ran ads during March Madness games on Friday night, thanking Republicans for keeping their promise to replace the Affordable Care Act. The ads seemed to be a victory lap for a non-existent win. And by the way, Barbara Comstock we showed there, she came out against the plan. She was a no on this. But it was interesting where they were nervous. It was Des Moines. It was Darrell Issa was in there. They had identified those folks.
She busted her own bracket, is the way you look at it.
But I don't know if anybody had a worse Friday than Paul Ryan. I asked Paul Ryan about his bracket pick last. Here's what he said to me. Speaker Ryan, do you have Wisconsin in your Final Four?
Yes, I do, actually. I have them going all the way. I have them a rematch with Kentucky, but we win this time.
So Friday at 3:30, he pulls the bill on health care. No more repeal or replace, Hugh. Friday night, this is how Wisconsin's season ended. Oh, Speaker Ryan, I say this.
You're kicking him
I don't want to. Look, he and I both love the Packers together, so don't hold that ahead against me. It was a tough night.
It was, but don't forget Neil Gorsuch, Neil Gorsuch, Neil Gorsuch. I can stay here all day, Neil Gorsuch.
I was just going to say, Hugh Hewitt, you remind me of Kevin Bacon in Animal House. Remain calm, all is well. Anyway, all right, guys, that's all we have for today. We'll be back next week.